I thrive on sarcasm. Does sarcasm contain nutrition? Yeah. You didn't get there yet. Fucking nightmare. Yup. Get to the unicorn. Deadly premonition, let's go! It's on.
Previously during the investigation, these puppies are making me go to another town to do this.
What? Oh, hey.
Now, Joel Gray's daughter is, of course... That's right, Jennifer Grey. You knew that, right, Zach?
Jennifer Grey. She's in one of my most favorite movies, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, 1986, directed by John Hughes. That one was so 80s.
Zach, you're not the most cheerful guy I know. But you really do like those cheerful movies.
We used to love those teenage movies back then, didn't we? Breakfast Club and Pretty in Pink, St. Elmo's Fire, and Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That last one was in 1982, directed by Amy Heckerling. Now that was an impressive film. You've got Sean Penn in the lead, with Jennifer Jason Leigh and Phoebe Cates. Not to mention Nicolas Cage and Forrest Whitaker were in it too. And the original book and the script were written by Cameron Crowe. How could that not be a great film?
Do you remember, Zach?
When that movie ended, the last words, the end, was from an arcade game. That's right, it was from Missile Command. That stuck in my head for a while. The memories. I feel like I have a lot of movies to catch up on. Let's just hope we can get to the end of this case soon. Then maybe we can catch up on a few.
Give some thought about what movie you want to see next, Zach. Okay then, Zach. Let's go back over our progress.
First, the victim, Anna's death. She was found hanging from a tree in the forest. She was cut open with a knife from her chest down to her stomach. That was the direct cause of death. The strangulation marks and skull fracture were caused after death. Her tongue was also bit off, and I found something inside her mouth. Do you remember what that was, Zach? That's right. We found the same red seed in her mouth. According to Emily, it was raining when Anna was killed, but traces of tears were still evident on her face. Which means the perpetrator killed Anna under a roof in the lumber mill, and then carried her body into the woods after it stopped raining. We found numerous important pieces of evidence at the site of the crime. A total of 4 things. Knee prints in the grass, a wood chip with metal dust, a photo of a man with a tattoo on his back, and one other thing. Do you remember what that was, Zach? That's right, a broken stiletto heel. Aligning this with the other evidence suggests that 2 people came into contact with Anna's body prior to it being discovered by us. Those being the perpetrator who killed Anna and Miss Stiletto Heel. There is also the possibility that a third party carried Anna to the woods. That means we could be dealing with 3 people. 2 or 3 people. In any case, Miss Stiletto Heel may have vital information. We need to find her next. We didn't use forensic methods, but we're still closing in on the criminal. Have I forgotten anything? Ah, of course. The marks on her hand tell us that Anna was gripping something when she died. Do you remember that, Zach? What do you think she was holding on to? That's right, a round object. The marks on her hand suggest a peace mark. The man in the photo found in the woods had a tattoo of an upside-down peace mark on his back. These 2 could well be related. But we don't know for sure. Next, the townfolk. A few are worthy of special attention. Carol McLean, the singer and bar owner. She's Thomas's sister. Then there's Nick Cormack, the owner of the diner. Both of them seem to be hiding something. There's Diane, the owner of the art gallery, who's out of town. Then we have problematic, old, rich, and eccentric Harry. Both will be tough to crack. Well, we just have to go one by one. I've been thinking, one of the biggest rewards here is the fantastic food. Enjoying food is cultural, and yet it's also a bit uncivilized. It's interesting how good food motivates me to work harder during investigations. Oh, and on Emily's back, it was strange to me. Hey, don't take that the wrong way, Zach. I wasn't getting all excited or anything. But it did make me feel strange, nostalgic, and sad almost. It's starting to rain. I think this case may take a while. You'll eat right now, young lady. You need to listen to your mother.
I want to hear the rest of the story.
Eat your lunch, and then take a nap. Then I'll tell you the rest.
But I want to hear it now.
There's no need to rush things. You must live your life at the pace that is right for you.
you thirsty?
You must be very thirsty.
You only take milk with your coffee?
Coffee with milk, that's all.
Who are you?
My name is Becky.
What are you doing here?
My name is Becky.
Anna's friend?
My name is Becky.
After your throat is quenched, you must do what you must do.
Take a sip of coffee and go.
Huh? That's me. That's me when it happened.
Zach, this case looks like it's directly related to us. I do not know how yet, but I do know I need some coffee.
George said he'd have someone pick us up in the parking lot. Let's get some breakfast with Polly first.
Whoa there!
Did you need something?
No, I was just passing by. I didn't think anybody else was here other than Polly. The door opening like that it surprised me, that's all. I'm Kaysen, Forrest Kaysen. Nice to meet you. I travel a whole lot, you see, selling tree saplings. Just the usual salesman doing the usual road trip. Sometimes I feel, I don't know, like a jolly old bumblebee spreading pollen.
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan.
I get it. You're the special agent Scarface that everyone's yakking about. Nice to meet you, Francis.
Special Agent Scarface? I'd need a bigger scar to live up to that name. Call me York. That's what everyone calls me.
What? You got it. York.
Is this your first visit here, then?
No, sir. Actually, I've been coming here once or twice a year for, a while now. I don't get much business here, but it sure does make a fine vacation. I mean, it's a gorgeous hotel at a bargain price. It's so relaxing in these parts, too. Oh, I just love all the nature. I feel so relaxed here. Say hi to Willie. Oh, don't worry, he's a good boy. Do you like dogs?
Hey, Willie. How you doing?
He's pretty smart, too. Oops, before I forget, let me give you this. It's just a sample of what I sell.
Thank you. How kind of you.
So, what brings the old FBI out here? Sounds like more than just a vacation.
A murder, actually. The perpetrator is still out there. Try to stay indoors at night and during the rain. We want to prevent it from happening again, okay?
Oh, it's a darn shame. Places like this used to be the safest in America.
Could I ask you something? Do you know a lot about seeds?
Seeds? Gardening, huh? You don't look like a green thumb, but let me tell you though, I'm pretty much the only one who can make those saplings sprout. There's a trick to it that can't really be passed on, you know? It's like, oh, the secret of making a good smoked ham, something like that. But you know, once they sprout, you don't need to do much. You can leave it be, and why, it'll turn into a big tree no matter what happens. Kind of like those stocks that politicians buy that just keep growing and growing. Well, you just wait and see. This town is gonna love them. Right. We were just about to go take a morning stroll, so I'll get going. Good luck now with that case.
Thanks.
Zach, do you remember what the coffee said? Forrest Kaysen. F.K.
This show has just begun.
Oh, hi.
Breakfast looks as good as yesterday's.
I hope you enjoy it.
I will, and thank you. I just met Kaysen, actually.
Oh, good old Mr. Kaysen. Did he give you a sapling?
As a matter of fact, he did. Don't tell me he gives one to everyone he meets.
No, only to the people he feels comfortable with. He told me. He must feel really comfortable with me.
He must. Is there anyone he hasn't given a sapling to?
Mustard? Okay, I'll just get it from the kitchen then.
No, mustard has nothing to do with it. I was wondering if you know of anyone that Kaysen didn't give a sapling to.
Oh, too much pepper. I did think it might be. I'm sorry.
Ah, Zach, I forgot. We'll never get anything out of her, will we? Forrest Kaysen. He's hiding something. You think so too, right, Zach?
But no need to rush. All secrets are hidden until they are inevitably divulged. The powers of entropy. The world exposes everything and causes chaos. Just like this coffee.
Good morning, Agent Morgan. Did you sleep well?
Morning, George. Dreamland was quite nice.
You do look well rested. Oh, I was up practically all night doing paperwork. Thomas helped me out, so I was able to go home and get some sleep, but not enough.
Diane got back into town late last night. We should give her a visit.
Which means going to the art gallery, correct?
She lives and works in the office there, so it's the only place to find her. The gallery is open from 10 to 1700.
Time for some art appreciation. A cultural activity in such a small countryside town. Amazing, Zach.
The gallery is called Muses Gallery. The Muses were the 9 daughters of the goddess of memory in Greek mythology.
Ah, it's just like Diane to name it that way.
Is she that intelligent a woman?
Maybe. You'll see for yourself soon enough.
Did you see how Emily reacted, Zach? I sense that this Diane is not popular among other women. I can't wait to meet her.
The gallery is on the north side of town. Take the road along the lake and go north.
An art gallery in such a small town. Am I prejudiced to think that it doesn't seem to fit?
Greenvale and every small town has every right to enjoy art.
That's right. Small towns tend to be full of highly cultured people. Although I can't say I've ever been to the gallery myself.
George, what about you? Are you into art?
Actually, yes. I like going to the gallery. It's very relaxing there.
Really, George? I never knew that about you for all this time.
Emily, please. I'm just as cultured as everyone else.
Some people just have sides to them that you'd never expect. By the way, about Diane, the owner of the gallery. Is she the type that isn't very appreciated by other women?
What do you mean?
Exactly what it sounds like, Emily. Is she very attractive, especially to the opposite sex?
So you're asking if she's sexy, right?
Well, she does always wear high heels.
And definitely, it's, hard to explain.
But that doesn't make me biased, okay? She just seems to look down on people. She always has. I just don't like people like that.
That must be because sex appeal has no effect on you.
Now that's out of line.
I'm sorry, Emily. I didn't mean to poke fun at you. You just reacted so strongly to Diane's name.
I did not. It's like you're suggesting I'm the total opposite of her. Is that it?
Oh, Emily, that's not what anyone is suggesting. Let's just drop this conversation, okay? If you're wandering off, then we'll go on ahead. We don't have time to mess around.
Okay, I'll meet up with you later.
Agent York, the gallery is open from 10 to 1700. Please keep that in mind and don't be late.
Hello?
Tell me, Agent York, you fly all over the country, right? So, what's the strangest thing you've ever eaten?
Good question. Well, this country isn't really known for bizarre cuisine, so I can't really think of anything that would knock your socks off. But the soft-shell crab I ate in Williamsburg was pretty good. And then there was the paddlefish caviar in Mississippi. Both of those were quite amusing.
Wow, just the names sound delicious.
I'll have to pass if all you can say about them is amusing.
Emily, I've eaten some pretty strange things myself, you know.
You, George? Such as?
Fried cicada.
Cicada? As in the insect?
Of course. It was pretty good, too. The cicada population in these parts tends to explode every 17 years or so. It's a special recipe for such times. That's when I ate it. The whole town was infested with cicadas.
I'm glad to say I haven't experienced this cicada population explosion.
Which means it's been at least 10 years since George last tasted cicada. Now, let's hope this population explosion doesn't happen while we're here, Zach. Zach, don't you think there are a lot of good-looking women in this town?
It's like heaven compared to the town we grew up in. Do you remember Liz? Prom queen? Elizabeth Scott Moore. She could be royalty with a name like that. But you know, she was like an actress from a B movie, wasn't she?
Zach, is there something here that you want to check out?
Well, the gallery closes at 1700.
Hey, York.
Hey, bro!
Hey! To recap, the movie was the fourth sequel in a series that started in 1978.
That's right, Zach. It was Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
Lex Luthor was back and was played by Gene Hackman. That alone made it a must for all us fans. I don't remember much more about it, though. I'm sure there was more trivia about it. Still, forget 4. Richard Donner directing 1 and 2. Now those two were great movies. Christopher Reeve really shined as Superman.
Actually, Zach, I've got a confession to make.
Promise not to tell anyone because I'd be really embarrassed. I actually like the first 2 Superman movies more than the first 2 Star Wars movies. I think John Williams did a better job with the theme song for Superman. But whenever I try to hum it, it always turns into the Star Wars song somewhere along the way.
I know it's strange, Zach. I know. So, Zach, which Richard Donner film do you like the best?
No need to hurry. Take some time and think it over.
Now then, young fella, how do you feel about your current vehicle?
My vehicle? It's a piece of crap, but I'm not here to talk about that.
Then how about a little treasure hunt? Listen up, young man. My junkyard is actually a mountain of treasure. All kinds of treasure lies in those mountains of junk. The problem is, there's so many, I've lost track of where everything is. You've caught on already. I can see it in your eyes. I need you to head out in the yard and find certain things for me. If you help me out, I'll customize your car a little.
What are you talking about?
Didn't I tell you to shut up and listen to your superiors? Now, will you do it or not?
I don't see any reason to refuse.
Well said. First, I'll need some low gear parts. With that, I'll be able to boost the engine of your car. You'll find one around E5. Go! Don't just stand there, get going! This is it. This will save your life someday, son.
You sure know how to exaggerate.
You imbecile. Engine boost is vital for bringing back soldiers alive from war.
Engine boost?
Of course. Engine boost is the basis of everything. Let me tell you a war story, son. I was leading my unit at the very front line. Things were bad, and sanitary conditions were worse. Endless guerrilla attacks were stripping us of our manpower. Everyone was tired to their limits. There was one sergeant who really rubbed me the wrong way. The boys like to call him Crybaby Timothy. He really gave me headaches, I can tell you.
How?
Just by breathing. His posture was bad. He was weak, slow, easily distracted. I have no idea who thought he was capable of combat in a war zone. He endangered the lives of every member of the unit. Stomach pains. The worst stomach ache ever. Every one of us. It was his cooking. He was using food that was contaminated. I flew into the dugout toilet like an Apache chopper returning to base. I have to tell you, it was a close call. My engine was boosting. And that's what got me there safely, right in the nick of time.
What happened to the unit?
You really want to know? It was a terrible sight. Powerful, athletic men reduced to walking dead. Blinking like crazy, shaking with pain. Their confidence and self-esteem were all crushed. They almost didn't recover.
An interesting story.
So you see the need for engine boost now, do you? I'll keep my side of the promise and get to work on your vehicle.
That badge on him is for a sergeant. Looks like it was sewn on something else before it was sewn onto his shirt. I wonder what that's all about.
I put in longer pistons and optimized your lower gears. That should add boost to your speed when you accelerate. But there's still plenty of stuff I can do to make your car go faster. Just come see me again and I'll customize your car a little more.
I went to see every Richard Donner movie on the day they premiered. Every single one. Goonies, Lost Boys, the Lethal Weapon series, but my favorite has to be Lady Hawk. That was back in 1985, the same year as Goonies. Both Rutger Hauer and Michelle Pfeiffer really shine in that one. But more than anything, it's the story setting that was really good. A love story about a cursed knight that changes into a wolf at night, and a cursed maiden that changes into a hawk during the day. Very romantic.
Don't you think so, Zach?
They can only be together at dusk, right between day and night. Together as humans for only a brief moment. Perfect setting for a fantasy movie.
I just had a thought, Zach.
I really like those movies that have women changing into animals. Can you tell which movie I just remembered?
That's right, Zach. With Nastasia Kinski in the lead role.
Now, that was a fantastic movie. But I better concentrate on driving. We'll finish this later. We have Nastasia Kinski in the lead role and Paul Schrader directing, back in 1981.
That's right, Zach. Cat People.
About a woman who turns into a leopard when she falls in love, and then eats the person she loves.
I thought it was romantic. Real romance right there, Zach.
Nastasia was perfect for that role. Casting her made that movie a success. Malcolm McDowell as her brother was also a good call. He's like a panther even without any of that special Hollywood makeup.
Now the name Malcolm McDowell rings another bell. You know the movie I'm talking about, right, Zach?
Don't tell me you're thinking about Clockwork Orange. Malcolm McDowell, come on, it's pretty obvious. Blue Thunder. Came out in 1983 and was directed by John Badham. Malcolm plays the bad guy in that one. He just totally outshines the hero, Roy Scheider. At least I think so. I have to say, not many people agree with me about Blue Thunder.
Zach, if you disagree with any of my opinions about movies, just come out and speak your mind, okay? Just speak your mind.
Emily, Mr. FBI agent, made it here all by himself.
George, Emily, sorry to keep you waiting. I'm going to talk to Diane alone. You two just wait out here.
What the hell are you saying?
I know, it's very rude of me. I know. But also very important. I always make sure that I meet with the important ones, one-on-one. Otherwise, it's difficult to sense the subtle reactions of the suspect. This is just how I do things, and I'd appreciate your understanding.
But go on then. You're not going to listen to us anyway, are you?
You're starting to understand me, George. Well then, Zach, let's go and meet Lady Diane.
Hello? Hello? No reply. Let's take a look around then, Zach. Hello, Olivia. Do you like art?
Yes. Yes, I do. Well, I mean, I like trees.
Trees. Okay. Ah, but I see because these are all tree paintings. Do you come here often then?
Well, no. Just sometimes. I'm sorry, I really need to get back to the diner.
Zach, she was lying about something. She said trees, not paintings of trees. She doesn't need to come here to see trees. There's tons of trees outside. Zach, something is still...
Like I said, there's no point in you having this. I can put it to far better use. I'm taking it with me, okay?
That's fine by me then, as you wish. The FBI agent, right? Just wait a moment, please. I'll be right with you.
So there's no way you could have been at the scene of the crime?
That's right. I was drinking at the bar with Nick until early morning. I'm sure if you ask him about it, he'll say the same.
Very well. I'll be sure to do that. One other thing. That argument with Carol just now.
She's always like that. She thinks of me as an enemy, always bickering at what I say.
Is there any reason for that?
Perhaps because someone she liked ended up with me in my bed?
That would explain it, yes. If I may be so bold, who was the lucky man?
Oh, I sleep with anyone I wish. Anyone I prefer to sleep with. I guess she had her eye on one of them, but I don't know who it was exactly. I could sleep with you, if you like.
I'm flattered by your offer, but I don't think that would be appropriate. You're exactly the kind of woman a man in my job should never get involved with.
Isn't that a shame, darling?
I'll be frank. Right now, you are not a suspect. But both Zach and I are certainly feeling shaky about you.
If you want to remain in the clear, just watch yourself from now on.
Oh, you don't know, do you? Artists and art lovers, we love a good thrill.
Thank you for your help. I have nothing further to ask you at the moment. Goodbye. I had a chat with Diane. She said she was at the bar drinking with Nick at the time of the murder. We need to confirm her story. Let's talk to Nick at the diner.
Very well, Agent Morgan. I have to head back to the department and clear up some paperwork. Go with Emily to the A&G diner.
Okay then.
I'll show you the way. The diner's open from 9 to 2100.
Just as we suspected, Zach. Diane is the key to this case. I have a feeling she will lead us right to the criminal.
That's Kaysen. Looks like the show has just begun, and it has an all-star cast. Emily, do you know a man named Forrest Kaysen?
Kaysen? Yes, I know him. The sapling salesman, right? He always uses strange comparisons when he talks.
I'd like to know more about him. What does he do when he comes to town?
He's a salesman, so I guess he sells things? Maybe he comes on vacation. We haven't seen many tourists recently, but he comes pretty often.
Is that all?
Well, now that you mention it, he seems quite friendly with the Ingrams, with Isaac and Isaiah. Maybe you should ask them about Kaysen.
Okay, I will. Emily, don't you find it a bit suffocating to be around George so much?
Well, we aren't always together. And anyway, I've gotten used to him.
Impressive. Women are very adaptable.
No, it's not like that, actually. George is hard-headed, sure, but he's also a hard-working man. That's why the townsfolk trust him so much.
The very epitome of the rural sheriff.
That's right. He isn't some hotshot FBI agent. This place isn't like the city. Everyone knows everyone else.
What about you and Anna? Were you two close?
No, not close, really. I don't seem to have much in common with teenagers nowadays. All they talk about are boys, clothes, and accessories. I don't have much interest in any of those things.
There is a gap between a teenager and being in your 20s.
Everyone's different, that's all. Me and you, too.
Zach, I'm not liking the way this conversation is heading. Let's concentrate on driving instead.
The A&G Diner. Wonder what the A and G stand for. Any ideas, Emily?
Nope, I don't know either.
Air and gravity, perhaps? Access and games? Aliens and Godzilla? Who knows?
Is it important to know? I mean, why don't you just ask Nick?
Oh, I will. But first, I need to eat. Wonder what's good here.
Welcome, Mr. Agent.
Hi, Olivia. Let me have your special for today. And some fresh coffee.
Our special today is turkey. A turkey and gravy sandwich. Sound good?
Perfect. Emily, you eat something too. It'll be on the FBI.
Okay then, I'll go all out. I'll have the T-bone steak. I usually can't order it because it's a little too expensive.
Nick and Diane. They hardly make the perfect couple, do they? Is it widely known that they go drinking together, just the two of them?
To be honest, I don't pay attention to these things.
Not into local gossip?
Well, when I moved here, I was still in high school, and I kept wearing the same wild clothes from my school in Seattle. I was young back then. And before I knew it, there were rumors all over the school. She'll screw anyone. That's what they said. Totally unfounded, of course. Anyway, after that, I just sort of chose not to really trust gossip.
I get where you're coming from. I used to dress like a hardcore punk rocker when I was in high school.
You? A punk rocker?
Nobody took my side, even when I had good grades. People rejected me just because of what I wore. I was young back then, too.
Even still, I just don't see you as a punk rocker.
And you laugh? Look at you. No makeup on, dressed in uniform, eating a steak for lunch. Okay, back to work. Let's talk to Nick.
working here. You can't just stroll into a chef's kitchen.
Then perhaps you would give me your permission to enter.
No! Get the hell out of here.
Zach, everyone has their own sanctuary. Let's leave him in his.
There's something I'd like to confirm with you, Olivia, if that's okay.
Yes, well, so long as it doesn't take too long.
First, what were you and Nick doing on the night of the murder?
I was here in the diner. Nick said he was going to the bar for a couple of drinks.
Does he go to the bar often, leaving you to hold up the fort?
Yes. He says he enjoys the conversation with Diane. I thought they went drinking again together that night.
Do the three of you ever go drinking together?
Well, you see, I'm really not into art.
And your husband is well versed in the arts then, I take it?
Oh, yes. Looking at art and talking about it is his way of relaxing.
People just aren't what they seem. Like a certain someone who was into punk rock 10 years ago.
You are absolutely right, Emily. But you can be an art lover and a liar at the same time. One more thing, Olivia. You just said that you aren't interested in art.
That's right. And...
So, how come I bumped into you at the art gallery? Didn't seem like Nick brought you there. You were there alone.
Well, I like trees, is the thing. That's why I went there.
Surely you'd be better off in the forest rather than an art gallery then. I think you went to the gallery not to see trees, but to see Diane, right? You don't want to answer? Or perhaps this isn't the right place to ask.
Meet me in the backyard. You can get there from the parking lot. I'll wait for you there for an hour after we close up.
They close at 2100. Should we get something to drink and wait? Agent York, what do we do now?
I want to hear what Olivia has to say. Let's kill time until the diner closes.
Okay, then I'm gonna make a trip back to the department. I'll see you in the backyard later.
Okay, sounds good.
See you later then.
Zach, about Olivia. I presume she wants to tell us something about Nick and Diane. Let's hope it's not just something for the gossip columns. Zach, we can take a rest if you're tired.
Hey, bro!
You always look...
Thank you, hun. The storage room is this way. Thank you, hun. You've been a big help. You're a real hero.
A hero?
You just can't leave those who need help alone, can you? I can tell you no, hun. You're that kind of guy. Anyway, here's your reward, hun. You've earned it. We'll give you a discount from your next purchase.
Thank you, Lily. We'd better be careful not to get carried away and overspend, Zach.
Agent York, you're a good person. My father doesn't seem to appreciate you yet, but I do.
And I'm sure Keith and the boys feel the same. Come by anytime, okay?
Hi there.